Rivalries reignited.
Historic heavyweights.
The spiciest of derbies.
New kids on the block.
The best leagues in the land are back.
Tom Hitchcock crashes. Tom Hitchcock goes. Tom Hitchcock scores. Leaving it all out there for the fans.
A steamroller has just charged through.
Dynasty, destiny, drama.
Your Women's National League Cup champions.
Future stars set to shine.
Rig, who's been on fire all season,
Champagne rugby? Look no further.
to score one of the most memorable tries.
Durham University are Bucks Super Rugby League champions.
But the truth is, in this league, it's anyone's on the day.
And it's full time. It is 6 wins from 6 for Swansea.
Entertainment guaranteed.
Bucks Super Rugby.
Women's National League.
Bucks Rugby is back.
Hello everybody and welcome to Kingsholm. It's Wednesday, which means it is time for your fix of the best leagues in the land. We've got a double header for you today. The champions Hartpury in the Women's National League against Cardiff Met, and it is a repeat of one of the greatest games in university rugby history. Bucks Super Rugby bringing you Hartpury versus Cardiff Met. 4:30 and 6:30 kickoff, so get comfortable. It's going to be a special day. There's been pretty special rugby played here all season, and it's going to be exactly the same this afternoon and this evening. We've got some very special guests for you too. Get in touch with us on social media. We never see that, but we want to know where you're watching from, wherever it is around the world. So we're counting down to kick off. Before we get involved with the rugby, let's hear from some people. We spoke to Hartpury earlier in the season. Joe Burns sat down with the skipper, and I just had a chat with Mo Hunt.
Evie Roach wearing the red of Hartpury and wearing the red of the champions and wearing the captain's armband as well, which is a huge honour. You must be immensely proud to be leading your team this season in the WNL.
Yeah, I am actually. Like, it's a massive honour. Me and Abby Lee are doing it together, so it'll be really good just to be part of the team and like get back on the pitch and stuff and like be there helping the girls out, you know.
Well, I mentioned it kind of in that build-up to in bigging you up that you come in here as the champions. So is there a degree of expectation? Do you feel that weight to deliver, or are you going out there thinking, do you know what, I've got a great team behind me, I can't wait to get after it again? Yeah,
I mean, obviously, like, you want to do well, do you know what I mean? Like, we want to be where we were last season, but at the end of the day, it's a new team. We've got new girls coming up. A lot of girls are staying again, but yeah, I think we'll be all right, hopefully. We just got to pull together the team, like, team bonding. Like, we're doing a lot of team bonding just to, you know, get ready and hopefully we'll perform again. But as I said, it's a different team, do you know what I mean?
Would I be right in saying there's some extra good feeling for your big match at Kingsholm? The double header against Cardiff Met, huge crowd at the home of Gloucester Rugby, an incredible occasion for everybody involved.
For a lot of us, we've never played on such a pitch like that. Like, it's just an amazing opportunity, and I think if you've gone around Gloucester, you'll see that you can't go out in Gloucester without seeing someone in the Gloucester top. So like, Kingsholm is just a massive, like, the heart of Gloucester, so it's just so exciting that we've got the opportunity to play there.
For me, for many, Hartpury is this like mythical, like, trophy-winning beast. Yeah. Now you're on the inside, now you've tasted it, and now you're leading the troops. What is it about the DNA of Hartpury?
We're all just like there for the same thing. Like, a lot of people have come to Hartpury because they want to be part of that, and like they've heard about Hartpury. Like you said, it's like very prestigious, winning and stuff like that. So people want to be a part of that, so they come. And we've all got the same goal. We've all want to perform and stuff. And I think it's just a place like Hartpury. I know a lot of people say it, but it is a family. Like, everyone knows everyone. Everyone knows everything about everyone. So it's just a great place to just like be. Well,
we're looking forward to watching you and the girls reveal a few more secrets on the pitch as the season progresses.
Hopefully, yeah.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Well, there's been no second season syndrome, has there, Mo? You lifted the cup, the season started, 2 wins from 2. Looks like it's going very well indeed.
Yeah, the girls are going really well at the minute. Yeah, Edinburgh was a tough one, obviously travelling up there, they always put on a show, so we're excited to get back out there and see what we can do off the back of that.
I remember last season you were front and centre in the advertising campaign when Gloucester Hartpury played here at Kingsholm, and now you get to bring the team that you coach here, Hartpury University, as well. This is a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive. I think it's kind of hit me today how big a deal it is for the girls to get the opportunity to run out somewhere like this at university in a game as big as this. Like, it's just amazing, and they're doing it with their mates. I think that's the most special thing about it. And yeah, massive thanks to Gloucester for putting it on, for allowing us to do it, and Dan Murphy as well for all the behind the scenes work. But no, we're just stoked to be at a place like this, and I hope the girls can do it justice.
Has anyone in the group got particularly excited? Can you lift the curtain and tell us if anyone's sort of stood out?
No, to be fair though, our meet time today was 3 o'clock and the girls started arriving from about 2:20, so I think that kind of says everything you need to know about the girls' mindset today. But yeah, I'm just excited to see what they can do.
Well, we're all excited too. However, it's not the running rugby you're used to playing, is it? Because it's windy, it's raining. Does that change anything?
Not really. We still want to get backs, hands on ball. We still want them to light it up. So hopefully we can still play the brand of rugby that we're trying to play, albeit maybe in different areas of the pitch. But no, we'll play the conditions well, and I'm sure the girls have got that in their armoury.
What about your opponents today then? Cardiff Met, also undefeated, coming over the border. I mean, as soon as I've said that, there's a big smile on your face. Looks like you're looking forward to this too. Yeah,
I love a little rivalry. No, it'll be good. Like, they're a really solid team, and they've been going really well this year. We had a pre-season friendly against them, which was awesome as well. So we kind of know what we're coming up against, but everyone raises their game on occasions like this. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what they bring.
We are too. Good luck.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right. Always great to hear from anybody from Hartpury. However, I promised you special guests, and we've got Bucks Super Rugby and Women's National League royalty here. Winner of Bucks Super Rugby, coach of course now of Gloucester Hartpury in the Premier 15s, Sean Lynn. Really good to see you, mate. How are you?
Yeah, always good, isn't it? Wednesday night lights, especially at Kingsholm. It's a great occasion.
Why have we never done this before here, by the way?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I think the game is growing. The Bucks Super Rugby, the Bucks National, and its organisation from pairing up with Bucks Women's Rugby and the Men's Rugby. It's going to be a great night.
Very much looking forward to your Premier 15s campaign kicking off, but let's talk about this group here. Mo, someone you know well, someone you coach. She seems to be creating something really special with this young group of players.
Yeah, she is, you know, and bringing in Sam Monaghan as well, who's just getting her trade into the coaching side of it. I've been really impressed with her. And just Mo and Sam, they're just bouncing off each other. It's a special group of girls, and we're very excited.
Talk to us about the Hartpury way, because of course most people, Bucks Super Rugby fans, got to know you when you were in charge of the men's team that went to Twickenham and lifted the trophy. Whether it's at ace level, Women's National League, Bucks Super Rugby, RFU Championship, whatever, Hartpury seems to sort of run through English rugby like a stick of rock. You know, what is it about this lovely place in Gloucestershire that you all love so much?
I just think it's the pathway. That's the essential part to it, and we're very big on dual career and making sure that between under 18s, university, and then into Premiership for the women or the Championship for the men, it just makes a clear pathway, but also having that dual career.
Let's talk about the pathway in the women's game then, because I look at this Hartpury University team. One name that sticks out is Emma Singh, brilliant player, probably going to end up being a regular for England, certainly a regular in your Gloucester Hartpury team in the Premier 15s. Is there that opportunity for all of these players in a Hartpury jersey this evening to sort of be on that journey to professional top-level rugby?
Oh, definitely. You know, you look at the opportunities we've had in this Premiership Cup. We went to DMP away and I had 10 university players in that setup. We played against Worcester on Saturday and I had another 8 university players. That's what it should be. And for Emma Singh and Mia Venner to go out there and want to play in this fixture, it's just testament to what Bucks National League is and what Bucks Super Rugby is all about, is playing university rugby with your friends and having a smile on your face.
Speaking of friends, I've been in contact with a few of the old boys today, so Max Clemenson, Will Crane, Angus Southern, all of those boys, because I was a little bit naughty to them in the match day programme, but they were a great group of lads, boys that you know really, really well. Do you miss the Bucks stuff? Because come on, I know you're coaching Gloucester Hartpury, doing brilliantly, but all those guys, you seem to have such a special bond.
Yeah, of course I do. And it's really nice actually to go down on a Wednesday, down to the Alpus Arena and watch it instead of getting engrossed in the coaching. But every time I'm there, I do miss it, and it'll always stay as a massive memory. And it's really even nicer when you catch up with the alumni and getting those boys, seeing them, Max Clemenson with the sevens, England sevens last year, it's great. And for them to always come back, it's really worth it.
Really good to have a chat. Enjoy the game this evening. We are counting down to kick off. It's the doubleheader, Women's National League and Bucks Super Rugby. Cardiff Met against Hartpury. Nearly forgot we were there. It says it on your jacket. We've caught up with coaches. We've caught up with captains. Let's see what they have to say.
Emma, welcome along, or rather EC as you're known. Just quickly explain that nickname to those who might not be familiar with you.
It's a double name, so it stands for Emma Claire, but EC is just easier to say on the pitch.
Nice. EC, skipper. How did it feel to learn that you were going to be captain this year?
I was actually really surprised. I kind of came into my fresher year kind of with an open mind and just wanted to sit back and listen and just absorb everything I could. And so I didn't think that I gave off that leadership role to the team, but I think everyone else viewed me differently than I viewed myself, and that I really stepped up. And Lisa called me and said that I was captain. It was a shock, but I'm very excited.
So you're a year into your WNL career. What stood out for you? What were your highlights of your first campaign?
I would say the rugby IQ level of the teams is much higher than it is in the States, which is very refreshing. Playing in the States can be a little aggravating sometimes because I feel like players start a little later. Like players here grow up with rugby, and so it's their environment and they know everything about it.
Now, we spoke to your coach a little bit earlier on in the season, and she said that your USP this year was going to be your sexy rugby, that you guys were going to really fizz the ball around, jouer all the way. Is that something that you're hoping to embody?
Yeah, I've noticed that in our preseason, we've definitely had a more structured game than last season. Last season was kind of thrown together last minute because of COVID. So this year we have the opportunity to play a few different styles of rugby, which has already proved to work really well, and we've only played one game. I think the team will really connect together.
Are you approaching this league as being quite open? There are sides with really decorated histories within it, but it does look as though on their day almost anyone can beat anyone. Is that a sentiment you'd agree with?
Yeah, I would. I wouldn't say that every year I would say it changes between who's the best and who's necessarily the worst. We're everyone has the same opportunity to build their team up, and we're building our team up right now, and we're going to be up on the top.
It's the end of the season. You're looking back with a big smile on your face because it has been a successful campaign in your eyes. What would that have included?
I would say making it to the top 3, I guess. Really bringing confidence, like I said before, to our team, to have that extra energy to get us some wins, if that makes sense.
Well, all the very best for the EC. We cannot wait to see you out there.
Thank you.
2 wins from 2. Great start to the season. This Women's National League's pretty easy, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess some might say that. Some others might have a different experience of it. But no, I think we've built ourselves nicely into the start of this season from a good pre-season, and it's made a big difference to how we've started. So yeah, really happy.
Well, since the season started, what has gone well? What has led to these 2 opening victories?
Do you know, I think the fact that it wasn't COVID last year probably helped. But no, we've had a nice little recruitment pathway come through. So we've got girls that have come from sort of under-18s, the Welsh programme that happened last year, which is great. But also our seniors have now probably had a chance to experience what it is to be an archer, and there's a real buzz around, you know, what they can achieve this season. So it's great to be part of the programme for me, yeah.
Yeah, Archers, it does seem to be a brand that is really spreading throughout the rugby world, as are these big occasions. You've had some amazing ones down at Kingsholm, but to bring this group here to a stadium like Kingsholm today certainly feels pretty special for us. How does it feel for you, and how have you kept the lid on it with the players this week in the build-up?
I mean, listen, I get to sit on the sideline and enjoy the show, so I'm not feeling too much pressure. But I think from the girls' perspective, this will be the first time that they're in this environment for a lot of them. So, you know, the stadium, the occasion, the cameras, it is exciting. So for them, I think they do feel a bit of pressure, but I also think, or I know, they feel like the underdogs in this, so there's a bit of a pressure release on that. They're not expected to perform in any sort of way. but they're going to put on a show for us today.
Another challenge is the weather, because it was lovely earlier, and as soon as we started to have this conversation, it has absolutely hammered it down. How does that change the way you go about today?
It's not going to change a thing for us. The brand that we've started with for this season has been very gritty and, you know, refusal to lose. So that's where we're coming from. We're off the back of 2 wins that, you know, weren't very pretty wins for us as well. So we've got to dog it out. We're more than happy to do that.
Finally then, your thoughts on the hosts, the opposition today, the champions?
Yeah, listen, there's only one way you go from being at the top, in there, and that's down. So we'll enjoy that.
Good luck
hopefully.
Today.
Thank you.
Really looking forward to it. Thank you.
That's grand. Thank you.
A very warm welcome along wherever you are watching to Kingsholm, where we've got the reigning cup champions against a team in ascendancy. 2 undefeated sides separated by just a single try bonus point. The teams are littered with international honours and coached by a pair of formidable women with test caps of their own and proud roots in these 2 institutions. So really, when you put it like that, a stadium the size of Kingsholm feels the very least this Women's National League match deserves. This is Hartpury versus Cardiff Met, a rearranged round 2 fixture between 2nd and 4th in the table, and a clash of 2 rugby strongholds. Let's take a quick peek then at the table with 3 rounds played, but just 2, of course, for these 2 sides. Edinburgh, they are sitting pretty at the top, but what is at stake today is a seat at the summit of that graphic there, because a win for either of these 2 sides and they will clamber over their Scottish rivals, and going into round 4, they will be the ones with the targets on their back. I'm delighted to say that I've been joined by someone who knows a thing or 2 about playing for Hartpury, Ellie Gilbert, who's currently playing for Gloucester Hartpury and who thinks that she graduated in 2020. Ellie, welcome along. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thank you very much for having me. It is an absolute pleasure to be here. Hartpury girl myself through and through. We'll always back the girls, but I think today's going to be a really, really exciting day. And I think Cardiff Met are going to bring it. I'm not going to lie.
You were saying that they always do. They're always a tough team to overcome. And as we see the 2 sides heading out onto the pitch here at Kingsholm, there really is a sense of anticipation in the air. But let's bring you the team news first. Starting with the home side, Hartpury. There'll be plenty of familiar names to you here. Ellie, who stands out? Who should we keep an eye out for?
So Amy Dale has always been absolutely fantastic ever since she first pulled on the share. She is absolutely formidable in everything that she does, especially her carries and defensively as well, which her yellow card for Gloucester Hartpury the other week might lead us to believe. Jordan Russell's been having a fantastic time at the moment. She's been invited to a couple of GB7s camps, so she is someone to look out for. And obviously you've got your Mia Venner in your back three, who is always a fantastic player to watch.
Well, Mia Venner's going to have her hands full today because she's up against Kat Rich, as you can see, wearing number 11 for Cardiff Met, who's a fine player in her own right. Well, players just kicked off behind us, so we're going to fly that one out and take a look at an immediate bright start for Cardiff Met. They win a penalty off the kickoff. It's always important, isn't it, Ellie, to get that first passage of play going in your direction. It's such a confidence boost.
Yes, absolutely. It's something that gets everybody geared up, ready for the game. If the first carry's good, if the first tackle's good, then we're all ready to go. So a little bit of a disappointment there for Hartpury, but hopefully they can defend what looks like it may be a driver more from Cardiff Met.
It's going to be a fine attacking platform for Met. It was Maya Dixon there wearing 10 for the Archers. She buried that deep in the corner. And Sophie Licence, hooker for the visitors, will have her first throw-in of the afternoon. As you can see from the flag of the touch judge, it's not going to be easy conditions for these darts. We'll get the thoughts of pro hooker Ellie Gilbert on just how much the wind affects these throws in just a moment. But it's well executed. It's fizzed off the back through the hands of Dixon. There's width here if they can just use it, but Kat Richards opts to carry it infield, and before the posts, Met with their first attacking platform of the day. It's the skipper, Cantrell, carries hard. She had fantastic bunchies at the media day, and I'm delighted to see that she's got them back on today. Look good, play good. The skipper leading from the front. Sophie Richards, the inside centre, dances infield. Patient play here from Cardiff. They go through the gears. It's a fine direct line from Katie Mackey. She grabs a couple of extra feet. And now the loose head, Maddie Collins, has a chug, adds a yard or two as they find themselves 10 metres out. This is not what the table suggested. This is not what the form book told us would happen. It's a bright start from Lisa Newton's side. Molly Reardon drops a shoulder. Very much parked in the centre of the field, but now we see some width on the ball. It's Em Griffiths with a big fend, but driven backwards hard. Hendy with the tackle there, looking uncomfortable, but does manage to draw the penalty.
Yeah, that was a great defensive effort from Pip there. You know, lucky to get the penalty. Good for it to go in Hartpury's direction there. I think Cardiff Met are always very, very physical, especially in their forward carries, which is going to set them a bit of a platform, so it's very good for Hartpury to get the turnover there.
An important turnover, and patience displayed by both sides. Does that suggest, Selly, that the occasion isn't getting to either of them too much? That Cardiff were patient enough to put through 7-8 phases there, but equally in defence, they were very calm, the hosts.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it is an 80-minute game at the end of the day, so there is such a thing as getting a little bit too excited, and it's good to see that the girls haven't done that yet. Just looking at Amy Dale's face there, I think that the wind and rain isn't doing her any favours with her throw-in. However, Hartpury have managed to get the ball back, so fantastic shift from them.
For those of you watching on from the comfort of your living rooms, you've made quite a good decision there. It is cats and dogs here in Gloucester. A swirling wind, driving rain, pretty chilly too. Quite a few of the girls wearing thermal tops, and you cannot blame them. But here is Niamh Tinman, wrapped up by Emma Singh, and pirouettes into touch. The flag goes up. Good defensive pressure from the senior England international. What a luxury for Mo Hunt, Natasha Hunt, to be able to select from players who've played in 6 nations for a Bucks WNL match.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, to be honest. I think it would be any coach's dream at Bucks level to be able to have a handful of internationally capped athletes at your fingertips. So I think very well done from Emma Singh there, and Mo's loving it at the moment, I think.
An embarrassment of riches. And these two front rows going to work for the first time this afternoon. Evie Addy, Amy Dale and Amber Robson for Hartpury, Maddie Collins, Sophie Licence and Katie Carr for the Archers.
Bind!
I think this is going to be a very important scrum here. First scrum of the game, forwards are going to want to set their grounds, and that is a fantastic scrum from Hartpury.
What a shove from the women in red. An early stamp of dominance. Good to see Hendy back in the mix after that crunching tackle earlier. She has a carry. Now this is Russell, player of the match in last season's final, and all of that form carrying through into the new season. Carrying maroon-clad bodies with her. Their tails are up now, the hosts. Addy with her first carry of the evening. It's fizzed out. What a line from Dale. Such an entertainer. She was loving life at Six Ways last year. A second half hat-trick for the hooker, and geeing on the crowd with every move. It's a fine grub, but threw a little bit too much on it. Emma Singh manages to get a boot to the ball, but a glimpse at the attacking prowess of Charlie Mans, who you told us, but you told me off air to keep a really close eye on.
Yeah, I think Charlie Mans there just shows her game knowledge that she has. What a great option to just dink a little kick through there. You know, nobody in backfield. She knows that Singers has the pace on, so something that maybe not a lot of 10s in this sort of level of rugby would be able to see. So fantastic game reading from Charlie Mans there.
She's had some big shoes to fill with that number 10 jersey, because it was occupied by someone who we're going to be hearing from a little bit later on in our show. But there's been a fine tradition of fly halves at Hartpury over the years. Do you think Charlie Mans really is the next cab off the rank?
I think that the way that she plays, she does play quite similarly to how Sophie Bridger played last season. I think that it suits Hartpury very well. I think it suits the rugby that Hartpury are wanting to play. And honestly, she's so accurate in almost everything that she does. It's pretty difficult to not rate her as a player, and I really do think she's going to be up there.
We've got to say, accuracy doesn't come much better than nailing a touch finder like that with the wind that we are currently experiencing. You just see the touch judge's flag there, blowing out horizontally, and yet Mans did manage to find this 10-metre platform, and Dale pinpoint accurate with her first throw of the afternoon. And the Hartpury Maul starts to rumble towards the whitewash. It's going one way, and off the back of it goes Amy Dale, but it looks like it's just knocked on. Advantage to the Archers. They've successfully defended that one. What a clutch play, and how frustrating for Dale. Bit of whitewash fever, perhaps.
Very, very frustrating. Amy Dale has some fantastic carries in her, and just slippery ball, you know, wet weather, just slipped out of her hands there, which is unfortunate. But if this scrum's going to be anything like the last one, hopefully Hartpury can maybe shove it back a little bit.
Cardiff Met found themselves under all sorts of pressure on the other side of the pitch when we had that last set piece. That's a good teammate who tucks your shirt into your shorts for you. You need people like that by your side. So, packing down again. Seren Singleton wearing 24 but playing at 9 for the Archers, who will have the put in. Hartpury again with a huge shove. Russell has it at the base. She is such a ballistic carrier over past the 5 metre line now. 5 metres out, just about keeping that in field. Here is Addy, the fresher, fitting straight into the starting 15 here at the defending champions. And now over goes Dale. She's over the line. Is she held up? Is there a grounding? The referee gets a good look. Thank you, I can see it just as well. Just letting the Cardiff girls know that yes, it was held up. There will be a goal line dropout. He had a very good position there, and he wants to make it clear that he had the optics.
These Cardiff girls are so passionate about their rugby. It is every single time we've ever played against Cardiff Met when I've been playing for Hartpury, they've always been more than a little bit too happy to have a chat with the ref, which sometimes referees don't appreciate. So fair play to the ref there for giving it back.
No chance for them to chat now because it's with Russell and she carries. But the ball is stripped, it's turned over. Hartpury were playing with an advantage though. They had the free hit, so we will come back for the penalty. It's Venner who pops it up and passes it to Smith. And by the looks of it, Mans is going to look to drill it back into the corner. The rain really pelting down here in Gloucester. How do you think Hartpury felt when they saw the weather forecast, Ellie?
Honestly, it was quite nice earlier today, and I think it's just the heavens have opened a little bit, so it's going to be one of those games where you just have to dig deep and get through it, I think. Tighten things up a little bit, make those passes a bit shorter, safe hands, that sort of thing. So hopefully we'll see it in this line out here. Amy Dale should get a good angle on the ball and get safe hands into Steph's chest or whoever might be going up.
Well, it's straightforward, they keep it simple. Probably the right call in these conditions. Hartpury have it now, 10 metres out, 6, 5, 5 metres out. It's with Dale driven backwards. What a mismatch, but Singleton doesn't mind. Powers the hooker back. Here is Russell. Double tackle, Cantrell, the skipper for Cardiff Met, right at the heart of that defensive effort. They go wide. Skov, first look at the lock forward carrying. 6 metres shy now of the try line. Patience from Hartpury. Else in the blue scrum cap. Opts to take the contact, brings it down. Digging for the ball is Smith. It's out. Here is Priestnell. So many bodies from the Cardiff Met committed to that defensive line. They're clustered in and around that ball, defending the fringes. Addy over the gain line. Smith digging for it in the ruck. Here is Else again, on to Russell, lovely little tip pass. Again, 2 defenders required to bring the open side down. Time off from the referee, just checking whether or not there's been an injury. We will restart with a scrum, which will be music to the ears of this Hartpury pack.
Yeah, absolutely. Those first 2 scrums have gone fantastically well for Hartpury, so you never know, they might be able to get a shove on, keep the ball in and maybe even come away with a scrum penalty. I don't want to jinx it, but that would be the goal here, 100%. So yeah, big push from the girls, hopefully.
Ellie and I are both frantically Googling thesaurus rain, trying to come up with lots of different ways that we can describe this biblical weather here in Gloucester. It's coming down in sheets, so a scrum, probably the best attacking platform that Hartpury could wish for. Here is Else at the base, goes it alone with a real head of steam, spinning, feet out, inches out. Russell with a quick pick and go, the ruck speed there, absolutely immense from the hosts. It's out to Scott, spins through the tackle, the ball is down! And Hartpury open their account in the driving rain with a ferocious drive of their own. Lucia Scott opens the scoring at this historic double-header, and Hartpury lead.
Absolutely fantastic there from Hartpury. I have to say, Cardiff Met definitely giving it back with a scrum there. They stuck their feet in the ground, they held their own, but just great hands, great decision making from Hartpury there. Patience to keep the ball going. And Lucia Scott, fantastic player with a great little inside step and twist and over the line. Really safe hands there.
She's only a fresher, Scott, but she's already found herself starting regularly for this Hartpury side. England under 18, so she knows what it's like to play on the big stage, but I can't imagine when she opens her weather app earlier on today, she thought that as a fullback she'd be the first on the scoreboard.
No, it was almost a pick and go for her there, to be honest, and I don't think that's what she'd be expecting. But in weather like this, as we say, it's about patience, it's about working hard, keeping the ball, keeping the phases going, and you never know, you might have a couple of backs doing some pick and goes here because it is so damp out there.
Everyone's a forward tonight. So, Hartpury leading 5 points to 0, 10 minutes on the clock. The form book suggested that they would get off to a bright start. They've been so impressive this season, missing the bonus point that sees Met above them in the tables. But offsets Lola Whitley. What a run from the second row. Really got her head down. Just catching Met napping off that restart. So the ball's recycled well. Mia Venner receives that one in open space, but the line speed from the visitors was voracious and she is sent backwards. She'll be standing up gingerly. Well, questions being asked of Em Griffiths, the fullback for Cardiff Met. Tricky conditions for a high ball, but she fields it very well. Ball is stripped. Hartpury have the ball back. It's been breathless from the restart. Here is Venner back on her feet, looking to pick out Russell. The ball bounces. Scott tries score a pirouette. Finds Singh on the wing. It's a one-on-one, and let me tell you, you do not stop Emma Singh easily. And Scott!
My Lord, fantastic play from Hartpury there. Absolutely fantastic. Great decision from Charlie Manns to kick and clear off a bit of that pressure there. Really great line speed from Cardiff Met. Are we getting anywhere? We're not really going forward. Let's just kick it and clear it. Fantastic from Hartpury to get the ball back. Emma Singh with a great line. And of course, Lucia Scott, one to watch, absolutely. Great support play there. Ready, waiting for the offload, straight over the line for her second. Fantastic.
It's up there with the heaviest rain I've ever seen. The fullbacks on the board twice in the space of 60 seconds. This rugby is defying the elements and is proving mightily entertaining. Hartpury into double figures with 12 minutes played. Now to see if Manns can add the extras right out from that far touchline. It's a fine nudge. And the flags go up.
What a fantastic kick. I'm telling you now, Charlie Manns on the golden boot tonight. Golden boot. What a difficult kick to make in this weather, and she's absolutely nailed that. Well done to Charlie Manns there.
You can see, just as she jogs back for the restart, how sodden she is. Can't even imagine how heavy her boots will be with all the rain, but she put them through that ball very nicely indeed. And Hartpury up by 12. Things going, no pun intended, swimmingly for the hosts in the rain in Gloucester. It's a lovely split step from Amy Dale, allows her to dance in field. Hartpury were lethal from the restart. They'll be looking to replicate that here now. Bodies all over the floor at that breakdown. It's fine work by the hosts. And who's at the heart of it? Amy Dale, penalty Hartpury.
Yeah, better take from Amy Dale there than the first kick-off of the game. Showing what she's good at there. She's good at safe ball, keeping the ball, a good carry, and then come back with a penalty, which hasn't made touch.
It hasn't done, and Griffiths has her hands back on the ball. This is Molly Reardon, the Welsh under-18 representative, spinning through the tackles. Licence. Big bump off. And it's slow ball at the base of that one for Singleton, but she has it out. It's just dropped forwards by Smith, but Cardiff Met were playing with an advantage. Back we come, and it was Gabby Skov, second rower for Hartpury, just caught not rolling away. This one finds touch. It's been pretty non-stop, this.
Yeah, I think Molly Reardon's just shown why she's involved in the Wales under-18s there. Fantastic carry. Take 3 girls to get her down there. So, you know, great physicality in the contact, which is something that Cardiff Met do always bring. So Hartpury are going to have to step it up physicality-wise if they're going to keep up with the winning edge they've got at the moment.
She's a first year, is Reardon. And when I spoke to Lisa Newton in the week, she said that their recruitment over the summer at Met had been fantastic. It was so disrupted by COVID, but this year's intake, she said, is just littered with talent. We'll see plenty of first years putting their hands up today and proving just why it was that Newton brought them to Kincoid, brought them to Cardiff Met. Over the top from Dixon. Here is Venner. Such an evasive runner, manages to buy herself some time before hitting the deck there. Mans will look to clear from the pockets. She's got a big boost on her. It's over the top of Kat Richards, but she's got time. Opts to go it alone, ball in 2 hands, ball in 1. Fabulous read there from Kibble, grabs the damp shirt of the winger and pulls her down. The ball is loose, it's out. Met doing well to get to it first, and they will keep the ball. Skipper Cantrell just getting her breath back, hands on knees. It will be a Cardiff Met put in.
Scrum down, Cardiff Met ball. I think this is Cardiff's opportunity to show some of that physicality here, to really get their heads down and try and get a bit of go forward from the set piece. You know, it's been quite a battle so far, Hartpury coming out slightly on top, but I think that Cardiff Met, when it comes to their forwards, when it comes to scrums, they've got a bit more to give here, so hopefully we get something out of it for them.
We've not seen their hands on the ball, have we? We don't yet know what this Cardiff Met side can do ball in hand.
No, I mean, defensively they've been phenomenal. The line speed that they're coming up with, you know, key players there for Cardiff really reading the game very well. That shot put in on Mia Venner there was absolutely unreal. So I would like to see them with some ball in hand. I'd like to see what their backs can do. Obviously, Kat Richard played with her at Gloucester Hartpury. She's got a good bit of pace to get on that ball, so I'd really like to see her in open space, see what she can do with that, and hopefully give Cardiff Met a bit more playable ball opportunities.
I mentioned Lisa Newton, head coach of the Archers, and when we spoke earlier this week, she also mentioned that their first 2 victories this season have come despite them not playing their best. They've been nowhere near reaching their potential in terms of performance, but they've still got the result. How does that feel as a setup when you're pleased with what the table is showing, but you're not actually happy with your execution?
Honestly, I think that the best teams are the teams that hold themselves accountable for their performances, and they really get into the nitty-gritty of why we do things and how things have come out. And obviously winning games is fantastic, but if you're not happy with what you've produced, whether you've won or not, it's a very frustrating position to be in.
There's your mark.
It's just starting to get a little bit noisy here in Kingsholm. The fans are in, they're in full voice, and it is only going to get louder. We're expecting a fair few to brave the elements and come down for tonight's clash between Hartpury and Cardiff Met in Bucks Super Rugby. There have been some crazy results across the league. We'll bring you those a little bit later on, but for now, here is Mans. Mans in space, dancing in slaloms past the couple, bumps off a couple more. Reardon is eventually able to stop her. She's been everywhere, the blind side. Here is Els. Into the 22 now, Hartpury sniffing blood, looking for a third. It's out to Addy. Bundles over the top of the defensive line. Smith through the hands of Dale. This is Mans. Big hit there from Soph Richards. Scrum advantage to Cardiff Met. What a defensive set under quite a lot of pressure down that left wing.
Yeah, as I said previously, the Cardiff Met defensive effort has been fantastic so far. They are really getting in the faces of Hartpury. You know, Charlie Mann's under a lot of pressure there, not able to make that pass. I think this is something that's really going to carry the game for Cardiff Met. If they keep their defence up, then Hartpury aren't going to be able to attack. You know, it's got to be a really good thing, being able to see a team like Cardiff Met with their physicality really coming up and getting in the faces of their opposition.
As Lucy said, it's not about the size of the dog in the fights. We're seeing plenty of fights from the women packing down on the right of your screen, but it's another huge shove from Hartpury. Els sets off from the base, but driven backwards halfway across the West Country. This Cardiff Met defence is astonishing. It's a privilege to witness. Here's that to Russell. How Els kept hold of that, I do not know. They're in the centre of the field now. Hendy with a little whoop as she threw that one over their heads, but it somehow stays in the hands of the women in red. Scott has it on that far touchline. Smith to Els. Little ball to find Kibble.
First player on the ball.
Still going.
Tackle, everybody away.
The leg drive from Kibble there. Steph Els getting up from the base of that one at the heart of that drive.
7 high tackle.
Slower ball here, but it's still with Hartpury. Mans inside pass to Singh, in off her wing, scampering, slaloming. Always making a couple of extra foot with those footwork. Els. Up towards the halfway line now. It's near the 22. Dale.
No advantage, not releasing. 7 high tackle, penalty over.
And discipline just costing Met there. Hartpury with a fine attacking platform as Mans wanders back to the point of the penalty.
That is very lucky for Hartpury there, because that would have been a fantastic turnover for Cardiff Met. That was a great jackal on the ball. Yeah, Hartpury very lucky to come back with that one.
Mans, deep breath, shrug of the shoulders. Oh, how frustrating for Cardiff Met, and what a kick from Charlie Mans.
That was so unlucky for Cardiff Met there. I really thought she'd done a fantastic job of keeping that in, but unfortunately foot just into touch. So Hartpury line out on the 5 metre, and let's see what the girls can do here.
Hold the throw instead of latest done. Thank you.
Just about finding touch there, Mans. And now Amy Dale, as the noise picks up at Kingsholm, with another attacking line out. It's through the hands. Through the hands of Els, and the throw caught in the breeze. Cardiff Met up for the line out here. They'll be looking to exit, but under a lot of pressure. As someone who throws lineouts for a living, Ellie, how difficult are these conditions?
Honestly, it is really hard. I know everyone thinks, oh, you know, you're trying to throw a ball straight down the line, it's going to be difficult anyway, but in weather like this, it's not just the wind that's carrying the ball, it's also the wetness making the ball not travel the way you want it to travel. You know, you lose a spin on it, it tumbles sometimes, and it is just really a challenge, and I think we could maybe do with getting some ball boys or girls over the other side with a towel, maybe. Might do the girls some favours.
Yeah, just there.
Surprised they're not in place already, actually. I don't know if you could ask one of the assistant referees for a quick wipe with one of their flags, perhaps.
Honestly, I don't think it would make a difference. This weather is unbelievable currently.
It's a great leveller rain, they always say. Definitely something that Cardiff Met will look to take advantage of. They're behind by 12. So still very much a live contest, though. Smith at the base of that one. Hartpury with a free hit here. Slow ball for Smith, assessing her options. Dale opts to truck it up, takes the direct route, hopping through contact. Dale over the line, but has she managed to ground it? Referee's there to have a look. Held up for a second time by Cardiff Met.
This defence from Cardiff Met is absolutely formidable. You know, it is really challenging to get your head out of a scrum that's going backwards and be able to defend like that on your line. Really, really unlucky for Amy Dale. Second one held up there, but absolute kudos to Cardiff Met.
They go quickly. It's with Robson carrying up towards the line. Plenty of buddies in there trying to help her. The maul is formed. At loggerheads, these two sides.
12 away.
Inches out. Patient, repeated efforts from the host. Here is Dale carrying hard. Is Amy Dale over? The try is given, and last year's finals hat-trick hero has another. Amy Dale, absolutely unstoppable at that sort of range.
Well, they do say third time lucky, so third time lucky for Amy Dale there. 2 held up, third one, the one that counts, spot on, 5 points on the board. Fantastic effort. But again, defensively from Cardiff Met, you've got your 12 and 13 in there, making hard hits on these forward carriers running short. It is absolutely fantastic to see, and it just shows the physicality and how proud they are of their rugby. Everybody's getting their head in there, bodies on the line. Just unfortunately wasn't enough of a defensive effort from them today.
Man's looking to make it a 7-pointer as the ball just bobbles off the tee. Says something about the conditions when the ball is falling off. So gusty is the weather here tonight. The flags go up, yes, again. We're getting used to the sight of it. Charlie Manns has brought her kicking boots and hopefully her swimmers to Kingsholm. She makes it 17-0. Hartpury very much in control of this one.
Yeah, I think Hartpury have had most of the possession, so it is pretty difficult for Cardiff Met to try and get control here, but they are doing a fantastic job defensively, and I'm really hoping that they're going to get an opportunity to attack here. Let's see that line speed that they've had coming up and maybe try and get a turnover here on this kickoff and see what they can do with that.
It's Griffiths, fullback, bouncing the ball. Went to the States to college as a football scholar and shows all of that kicking prowess there. That was a tricky one for Scott to field, but it does go backwards, and the return kick finds turf. Kat Richards, again, ball in 2 hands, all of that sevens speed and fleetness of foot. Caitlin Lewis now, outside centre today, as she has managed for Wales over the years. Try scorer in the Six Nations last year. What an asset to this Archers setup. In at scrum half is Carr, the tight head, playing 9 briefly. Penalty advantage. Here's a chance to get what we've been waiting for, to see Cardiff Met with the ball in their hands for a bit. It's Ruby Smith with the carry. In and amongst it was Evie Addy, and that's the longest whistle blow I've heard in some time. Cardiff Met with the penalty.
Yeah, just a little bit high there from Amy Dale. Just drop your height a little bit and we'll be good to go. But it is a good kick that makes touch for Cardiff Met. So let's see how their set piece is looking when it comes to line-ups.
Maya Dixon drills that one past the halfway line. When Lisa Newson spoke to Dave before the match kicked off, she discussed the refusal to lose that her team have displayed so far this year. There's plenty of stubbornness in this performance. All sorts of grit. And shown there by Singleton. As half of the Hartpury pack bear down upon her, but she manages to place it backwards. And Mugabe, first time we've said her name this evening, she has a carry. Singleton picks out one of her forwards in support is Maddie Collins over that ball. Singleton again. Back to Dixon. Sends it down the centre of the field, right between Venner and Scott. Venner lets it bounce, takes her time, assesses her options. Here is Singh. Right across the field, onto the other wing. And somehow manages to offload that. It's Addy with it, being driven towards the touchline, but uses all of that power to find her way back inside. Kibble in and amongst it. Smith back to Manns with the wind at her back, but not managing to find quite as much territory there as she'll have been hoping for.
No, a lot of pressure coming on from Cardiff Met there. I think it's the right decision to make. We're not getting anywhere, we're not going forward, we just need to clear the pressure. And even if it gives Cardiff Met the ball back, it's also lost a few metres for them. So could have been a bit of a better kick, but it's still kind of a positive result for Hartpury there.
Time's on, upsets Sophie Licence, the Masters student, throwing inside the 22, a position she's not been in for almost half an hour now. The ball comes good. Here is Dixon, finds Lewis on a fine line through the centre of the field. Had plenty of options there, picks out her outside centre, now it's Carr.
First player on the ball.
Hartpury turning it over. It's fumbled. So greasy the ball there for Russell. But the turnover by Hartpury. It's back to Cardiff Met, but that's alleviating some pressure.
Yeah, fantastic effort from Steph Else there to get that turnover. Quite difficult for her, she is quite tall, but she did manage to get down there quickly to get that turnover. Just a little bit unlucky with the forward pass there, but let's see what the girls can do with this scrum.
Steph Else has been absolutely everywhere, which is remarkable considering she was playing on Saturday as Gloucester Hartpury in the Allianz Cup got a fantastic victory over Worcester Warriors, 48 points to 15 at the Alphas Arena. Actually, 8 of the girls involved today were involved on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Steph had a phenomenal game. She started at 8 for us, and she really put it to them, to be honest. You know, carries were fantastic, defensive effort was fantastic, so kudos to Steph.
And their defensive effort will have to be razor sharp because Mugabe just made about 10 metres off the back of that scrum. And here come the Archers. This is the closest they've been in all of the 30 minutes that we've seen. And what a platform. Plenty of bodies to the left. But they're opting for the direct route and they've got an advantage here. The conditions are treacherous. But it doesn't matter. And Dano Mugabe is over. The Archers have come to the West Country and they will not leave empty-handed. What a carry, what a truck up, what a score.
Yeah, all of that just off of a fantastic carry from that scrum. But this is what Cardiff Met are good at. This is what it's their bread and butter. They love hard, direct carries. They love their forwards to just absolutely bosh it up. And fair play to her to be able to pick and go, score a try after that fantastic run off the back of a scrum. Absolute kudos.
They've been made to wait 31 minutes for it, but the Archers have opened their accounts. Again, going back to that interview with Dave, when we spoke to Lisa Newsom before the match, she said that actually it takes a bit of pressure off being underdogs coming to a place like this, having the odds stacked against you. And it can be quite liberating. Is that something that you've experienced in your career?
Yeah, 100%. I think, you know, when you play against these big teams, so when Gloucester Hartpury have turned up and they've played against, you know, teams like Sarries and Quinns who are, you know, usually top 2, that sort of thing, it really does alleviate the pressure because you can just focus solely on yourself, what you came to do, what your gameplay is going to be, and it means that you don't have to think about anything else, whereas there's a bit more pressure there when you sort of think, oh, this is a game that we sort of should be winning. So it is, you know, fair play to Cardiff Met. They're bringing it. And
I think the Hartpury supporters are sensing that all of a sudden this game has sparked back into life because they've wheeled out the drum. But there's been a real swing of the pendulum in this one. The momentum currently with that of the visitors.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Unlucky for Gabby Skov there. That is the second penalty that she's given away for not rolling away. So I think maybe she just needs to put a bit of extra effort into that. You know, just needs to get out of the way of that play so that clean ball can be had. But turnover there and Hartpury's ball.
Indeed, and Emma Singh. We've not seen enough of her on the ball just yet, but a glimpse of what she's capable of there, scything through the defensive line.
First player on the ball.
Smith was coming in, looking for the ball off the base of the ruck, but it was gone in the hands of the visitors. Cardiff Met with a terrific turnover. And now in the centre of the field, Singleton fizzing it out and into the hands of try scorer Mugabe. She is full of running.
Let it come now. Leave red, you've lost.
And the Archers with a real head of steam building now. There's a sense that there's wind in their sails and they are looking for a second. It's looping from the base of that one, dropped onto the laces of Griffiths. High questing kick and that greasy ball somehow going backwards through the clutches of Else.
That is a fantastic run from Steph Else there.
You say she played on Saturday, I just don't know if I believe you. What a rampaging run. Makes 10 metres, Mans, ball in 2 hands, pops it to the outside. Priestnell carries in field, Dale's in there with the clear out. Fantastic quick ball for Smith. Watching on will be skipper and scrum half fantastic. Coach and scrum half fantastic, Mo Hunt. She'll be pleased to see how quickly her number 9 is able to get the ball out to her forwards. And here is Robson. Smith again, his Mans. Russell awaits, there's space. Russell almost through.
Leave now, you come to the side. Thank you.
Hartpury in a fine attacking position. Smith to Dale. Goes it alone, carries over the top of Katie Carr. Not much the defensive line could do about that, and Whitley, 6 metres out now, Hartpury looking to strike back immediately, but Cardiff Met's defence is rock solid today and they strip the ball.
That was a really, really great defensive effort there. What a prime moment to get a turnover as well. Hartpury trundling in, 7 metres from your try line, cheeky turnover, pressure completely gone, kick it away. I thought that wasn't going to make touch then. Kick it away, you know, and then give yourself a bit more time, maybe stop Hartpury in their tracks a little bit.
Look at the state of that touch, Judge. She's absolutely sodden. Flag.
Time off, we've got a player doing laces.
All over the place.
Time back on.
Can't imagine any of the players will be too disappointed when the half-time whistle goes and they get the chance to seek shelter for 10 minutes.
Backwards, play on.
Tricky conditions for the set piece, but luckily Met have got Mugabe on the field. She's quick to act, pounces upon that loose ball. Fabulous footwork from the skipper, EC Cantrell. USA under 20. She says she's loved coming to play in the UK because the rugby IQ of her teammates is just so much better. Coming to Wales, where rugby is in everybody's blood. She says it's really lovely to be surrounded by people that love the game as much as she does. A scampering Singh infield, places it backwards. Here is Scott, 2 tries to her name already, and she's hunting for a hat-trick. With just 35 minutes played, Smith through to Priestnell. Here is Venner. Maisie runner, so elusive. Still going, Venner. Just about stopped by Reardon. At the heart of so much good from this visiting side.
Off it goes.
Hartpury pulling the phases together. It's juggled by Addy. She does very well to keep her mitts on that one. Hendy in acting scrum half. Hendy again. Now it's Smith to Mans. Russell to her left, doesn't need her. Bumps off 1, bumps off 2. Singh is waiting on that wing and she's got space. Hartpury with the insurance policy with the penalty. How long until these floodgates burst open, you have to wonder.
Oh, I don't know, but free play from Hartpury there. Maybe not the best decision from Charlie Mans to carry, but I think she probably had the ref say advantage, thought, oh, free ball, I'm going to give it a go. So fair enough to her.
Well, she had a go with the advantage, but she's handing it over to her forwards. That's going to be a 5-metre line out with 2.5 minutes left to play.
Step over.
It's been fire meeting fire so far. Which side would you say is edging the forwards battle?
I'd say scrum-wise, Hartpury are definitely dominating, but in the line-out, Cardiff Met have really, really shown up. You know, they're getting in there, they're getting up, they're disrupting. They are the quickest to get on ball when it spills, so Hartpury really need safe ball here, and they need a good old shove on that maul if they're going to get over the line.
12 points the difference. And Ellie Gilbert to my right awaits a good old shove. Dale lines it up, picks out Else. And they go down the blind side. Kibble has a carrier and Hartpury have an advantage. Smith picking out one of her forwards over, but is she down? Held up for a 3rd time. Cardiff Met have brought such ferocious defensive intensity with them, and the referee calls over the captains.
I think it just might be the Cardiff Met captain there. You know, we do know that Cardiff Met like to get a bit chatty with the ref, so...
Would you like a moment to speak to them?
Yes.
Thank you.
Cantrell offered a moment to speak to her side. She says, yes, please, I will absolutely do that. The mothers' meeting is called. And with 90 seconds left to play,
time's off.
Absolutely essential that message is communicated, because you
We all
really
done?
don't want to go in at
Thank you.
half-time down and without a player on the pitch.
Yeah, this is where her leadership will have to really come into it there. You know, talk to the girls. We're in a high-pressure situation, but we need to be disciplined. We cannot risk giving away more penalties or getting carded before half-time. Absolutely not.
Newton's described Cantrell as the perfect candidate, an obvious choice for that armband. So, as you said, all of that leadership required now, as Dale has already got a try for herself today, lines this one up. It's a carbon copy, it's Else. but the ball isn't straight again. I know the conditions are difficult, but Amy Dale must be finding that immensely frustrating.
You know what, I have to say, I don't know if it was so much the throw or if they were lifting into the gap. No, it was definitely the throw. I take it back. Hookers have to look after hookers, but unfortunately that was the throw. I think just wind caught it there and just a little bit unlucky for Amy Dale.
Don't envy Sophie Licence though. This is a pressurised situation in which to be throwing.
This is somewhere a hooker definitely does not want to be throwing in.
Backwards, regather first. Ruck.
It is messy as anything, but it's managed by Met. The ball's back in the pocket.
Off goal.
Hoofed
off
off
yellow,
field, and again messy from Dixon. It's a brawl in the centre of the pitch. So many backs flying up to grab that loose ball, but Met still just about have it. It's with Carr. Dances in field. Kibble coming in from the side there, but the referee doesn't seem to mind it. It's back with Dixon. Clears it, but it drifts in field. Singh allows the ball to knock on, drops it disdainfully.
Half time.
And the referee calls for half time after what has been a fascinating open 40.
That has been a phenomenal bit of rugby played there, especially in these conditions. The rain is literally going sideways. It's so windy, it's so wet, the ball's slippery. I think Cardiff Met defensively have been absolutely phenomenal, and they just haven't really had that much of an opportunity to attack, which might change in the second half hopefully. But Hartpury doing a very good job of keeping hold of that ball. I think they've made some really good decisions in terms of when to kick and clear the pressure, etc, etc.
Well, let's take a look back at what happened in that first half. 19-7 as things stand. Let's see how we got there, because the opening few minutes was one-way traffic. Hartpury setting the tone with how brilliant their scrum was right from the off.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, scrum and line out, they are what everything's played off. You know, the backs need a really, really good platform to be able to create any sort of magic. So really, really well done to Hartpury there. Absolutely dominating in the scrum, which, to be honest, it is Cardiff Met, but it's their bread and butter. They love it. They're forwards, they're big carriers, you know, they're strong girls. They love their scrums, they love their driving mauls. And I think that Hartpury have done a really, really good job to get on top of them there.
All about the scrum, it's all about the set piece, and then here comes the fullbacks to score 2 tries in quick succession. Lucia Scott with 10 points to her name already today.
Yeah, that is usually how it works though, isn't it? The forwards put all the effort in, and then one of the back three might just drop it over the line. So no, massive, massive effort from Lucia Scott. She is fantastic with hand and ball. You know, she's got the step, she's got the pace, and that little twist around there to make sure the ball didn't get held up. Absolutely great play.
And then finally it was time for a forward to score, and of course it was Amy Dale, who sparkled in last year's final and got the forwards account up and running.
Yeah, it's got to be Amy Dale, hasn't it, really? She gave it 3 goes, came out positive of 1, so massive well done to her. But again, just fantastic ball carrying, getting low to the line, and really, really great shift from her.
The resilience of the Archers was really manifest in this try, because they worked so hard. It took them minutes and minutes to march their way upfield. They got that territorial position and then they didn't waste it. We talk all the time in rugby about red zone efficiency. That was the first time since the opening passage of play that Archers had been down in that 22 and they came away with points.
Yeah, I mean, Hartpury have been in Cardiff's 22 quite a lot this game, and they haven't actually come away with as many points as they could have. Whereas Cardiff Met in their 22, fantastic scrum from them, great carry and just patience to get over the line. So fair play to Cardiff Met, really, really good efficiency from them there.
I'm very, very impressed by the work at halfback of Charlie Manns. But as we mentioned earlier in the show, someone very popular around these parts was wearing that jersey last season, and I believe she is down pitch side with our very own Dave Rogers.
She certainly is. Thank you very much, Claire. I do have all of the best guests, and we have all of the best chat here at the Women's National League. So, celebrity number 2 for the evening is buck spinning captain Sophie Pritchard. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
You've got a big smile on your face. You've also got a fan club. I don't know if you can see this, but they're all over here. They're Hartpury stashed up. They follow you wherever they go, but you lot look like you're having a great night tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, what a showcase for it, and what a time to have such a good time. And you know, everyone's come together. The boys have come out for us, and you know, the tension's building for tonight. And what a performance of the first half.
It's been all right, given the conditions, hasn't it? Look, amazing occasion to have Women's National League and Buck Super Rugby here at Kingsholm, but you're here in the dry, you've washed your hair, you're going out tonight. Are you missing it? Would you rather be out there, or are you happy to have your feet up watching?
I mean, I like playing in nice conditions. You know, the rain's not really for me, but obviously miss the Bucks rugby. But the girls, you know, they're in safe hands and I just buzzing to be here supporting with the girls. It's nice to be on this side for once.
Talk to us about your journey then, since we saw you at Six Ways, that incredible performance from you and the team where you lifted the trophy. What have you been up to since then?
Yeah, so finished the season. So I thought my season was finishing there, but you know, Gloucester wrote me in. So I finished the season with Gloucester Hartpury, which absolutely loved, and loved the girls that much. So I've stayed on this season, was in pre-season with them, been playing with them since September. So that's really exciting.
Fit and rearing to go?
Yeah, ready to go.
Well, of course, we're here tonight talking about university rugby, but the Premier 15s is about to kick off, and Gloucester Hartpury, Gloucester, going to be playing their games here. Looking like it's going to be a tasty season.
I mean, the signings that we've had, you've probably seen it all. Really good. But the girls that we've got at the moment in the cup, while everyone's away at the World Cup, you know, the atmosphere, you know, how everyone gets on is amazing. It's lovely to go into such a nice team environment. But it'd be good to get, you know, the other girls back and thrive on their experience and go from there. But it's going to be a hell of a season, I think.
Well, let's bring it back to tonight then, because I always hear the Hartpury family being referred to, and you know, we've got some old boys, some old girls, some people a little bit older than they'd like to admit to. But what about the group out there tonight, the 15 on the pitch? Still close mates of yours?
Oh yeah, some of them are still like my best mates. I see them every day. So it's just really lovely. So I'm not here just supporting Hartpury, like I'm supporting my best friends. So it's really good.
Interesting given the conditions. We've seen outside backs scoring tries. What about Lucia? Tell us about her. She looks a special player.
Yeah, young talent, Lucia. She's come through college and she was with us a little bit at Gloucester over the summer, and you know, she's with Bucks and starting 15, and she saw her against Edinburgh kind of winning try, and tonight she's thriving, and honestly great talent, lovely to play with, and a great girl.
And we know that this university rugby is brilliant. Wherever you're watching around the world, welcome. Great to have you here. But when you look at the Hartpury team sheet and you see names like Venner and Singh, it's serious stuff, isn't it? Because they're serious players.
I mean, yeah, true talent. Like, Mia's one of my best friends, and God, what a player she is. And for her to be on that pitch tonight, and you know, singers as well, is unreal, and they've been doing great stuff for Gloucester, and it's lovely to see them be able to come back in the Bucks environment and still thrive as well and bring that experience.
Let's have an honest conversation then. Nothing is off the table. Honesty,
okay.
Let's pretend it's you and me and we don't have the millions watching around the world. Tell us about Mo, because she can't be that happy and that positive and that enthusiastic all the time, surely.
No, do you know, Mo is a great person. I've been lucky enough that she was my coach and she made me love rugby again. And now she's my friend and my teammate, and just to have her around you all the time, you know, it's incredible. And the girls are lucky to have her, and we're lucky to have her in Gloucester. And yeah, she's great to be around and go to her for anything, and she could laugh as well.
And playing in this Women's National League, you have got some bonkers away trips, haven't you?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
You play in 3 countries, you've got to go over the Welsh border, over the Scottish border. There are no fixtures next door. So what are those away trips like? Are they exhausting? Do they bond you?
I think sometimes they're the best, like especially the Edinburgh trips. Like, we go up the night before, you go out for dinner, you know, you have that long bus journey, and things that you do on the bus, like you play games, you do all those things, you bond with people a lot more because you're spending the time with them. I actually think some of the times the away games are the best games.
Well, when we do our late night show, you can tell us some of the stories from the away games.
Yeah.
All right, before I leave you go and enjoy the second half, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Other than winning the championship, give us one of your favourite memories from your time as a Hartpury University player.
Yeah, as a player, it's tricky because obviously the final tops everything, doesn't it? But actually, away from the pitch, we did a social, and we did laser tag, and it was probably the best thing I've ever done with those girls, and that made us it. Second to, you know, playing that Loughborough game where we beat them by 2 points, because I think beating Loughborough as well was a big thing for, you know, that rivalry, and that was a big time for Hartpury, and that was, I think, the turning point for us coming to the semis and the final.
Do you know, I've heard about that laser tag before. I think, no, seriously, I think Mo mentioned that in the build-up to the final as the moment that really bonded you.
It was, yeah.
Teams are coming back out, so I'll leave you go shortly, but I want to hear about your ambitions. All of the Bucks fans know you, they love you, they've seen you be a championship-winning captain. Where do you want to be rugby-wise in the next 6, 12, 24 months? What can we look forward to with you?
I just want to be able to play for Gloucester, you know, get involved with the girls, have that starting shirt, and then see where it goes from there. Because, you know, didn't know it was going to be that way, and then Bucks brought me back to it. So, you know, push on with Gloucester.
Well, your first Gloucester game, that's Sandy Park, 19th of November, right?
Yeah, that's the first Prem game, yeah.
I will see you there. Hopefully we'll see all of you there too. But in the meantime, the teams are on their way back out in the rain. Claire, I hope you're a bit drier than me.
Aren't we, Ellie Gilbert alongside me? Mo Hunt, I mean, there are no words.
Absolutely not, no. She is just absolutely amazing. She, on the pitch, an absolutely formidable player, attacking and defensively, and off the pitch, just one of the nicest human beings on the planet. Can't even put into words how lovely she is as a person.
They were talking about away days just then, Dave and Sophie, and it reminded me that there was the biggest away day of them all currently taking place, the World Cup down in New Zealand. It must be so exciting to see women that you play with week in, week out, absolutely thriving down there. I mean, I'm not even going to list all the Gloucester Hartpury players, but they are pulling up trees.
Honestly, I fangirl so much because I'm like, those are my friends, and they're doing absolutely amazingly. You know, massive shout out to Tatiana Heard. I think she's had an incredible World Cup.
Bigger
Nations?
than that.
Who
World
are you?
Cup?
Yeah, a fantastic World Cup so far. Really, really happy to see her back in that England shirt.
She's got hold of that number 12 jersey, let me tell you that. Right, we're back underway at Kingsholm. It's a tricky bouncing ball from the line out, but try scorer in the first half, Amy Dale, is up to the task. She brings the ball down. It's immediate possession for Hartpury, and Danger Women linking up there. Singh looks to find Russell, but it's turned over by Cardiff Met, whose defence in the first 40 was formidable. They trail by 12.
Use it.
But if we've been taught anything over the last few years, it's that in university rugby, absolutely anything can happen. That is very much a surmountable deficit. So Archers with possession here. Else rushing up, perhaps a little bit too keen. Referee thought about blowing that one up, but the ball stays with Cardiff Met, so he's left it be. Ball placed backwards.
Advantage over.
Singleton fizzes it out. Back to Eckford, who is on now. It's Scott with the ball, drops it to her laces. On a brace already, the fullback, and her opposite number, M. Griffiths, dancing back in field.
Thank you.
Archers going through the gears. It's McKay who picks and drives up onto the halfway line.
Step back.
It is still absolutely hammer and tongs, the rain here. Mugabe, try scorer in the first 40 and adding her first carry to the second half. She's been dynamite. Cantrell, the skipper. Met with an advantage here. We will come back for the penalty. What a bright opening passage of play from the visitors.
Yeah, I do. I'm really happy that Cardiff Met are getting this attacking opportunity, but they just seem a little bit hesitant in attack. They just not really too sure where they're going or what they're doing. But I think a couple more plays like that and they might get their heads back into the attacking mind space. They're obviously still thinking about defending at the moment, hence that fantastic turnover down there.
The rain hasn't gone anywhere, and nor has the wind, so that touch finder from Griffiths just drifted back upfield a little bit. So just about on the 10-metre line is Sophie Licence.
I bet she is not looking forward to throwing this line out. I think the rain's actually gotten heavier just as the girls came out. It lightened up a little bit, and now it is just absolutely hammering it down.
If you look carefully on the other side of the field, Ellie, there are some animals marching 2 by 2. She laughed at that. She was just off her microphone. I promise she found that joke funny.
It was funny. It was funny. I'll give you that.
Wait.
Singleton picking out McKay. The lock spin everywhere. So too has Reardon. Several crucial defensive interventions in the opening 40. Everything at the moment going the way of the Archers. A fine first 3 minutes of this second passage of play. Eckford picks out Lewis, the Welsh international, toward Canada with Johan Cunningham's side this summer. Hopefully carrying all of that experience back into that Archers jersey. Griffiths dancing in field. Ferocious counter up from the home side, but it stays with the Archers. Carr And into the 22 they go. They were so efficient in this danger zone in the first half. Came away with points at every entry, and they'll look to do the same here. But so far, the Hartpury defence standing firm, driving them backwards there. Struggling to make too much forward motion. Was that ball forwards from Singleton from the rock? The referee doesn't seem to mind it, and back the same way they go. Eckford finds herself 15 metres in. And Mugabe, met by Dale. That was a clash of two Titans. Here is Carr again. The phase is really starting to add up now as the Hartpury percussion units just start to make themselves heard. Met go again. It's biblical out there, the rain coming down. And just as relentless is this Met offence. Cantrell driven backwards by Kibble, and the ball is stripped, and there's an advantage all of a sudden. Hartpury with the ball, looking to exit. Smith pings it back to Else.
Advantage over.
Here is Hendy. England age group international, yet to crack the senior team. But sparkling in that red jersey, wore that number 13 jersey in the final last year. Such a core part of this unit. It's gone backwards for Mans. Hartpury had the advantage, they'll come back for the penalty.
Very clever play from Pip Hendy there. I don't know if anybody else noticed, but just that little half roll there to trap in the Cardiff Met player, giving them that penalty. I don't know if she meant to do it on purpose, but very cheeky if she did.
Philippa Tuttiett, Welsh international, in commentary for the ITV World Cup, she always describes things like that as canny. A lovely euphemism for just that, in that grey area of the law.
No, that is it. Very, very canny. A little bit naughty, but it wasn't a full roll, so it's not going to be pinged. Very, very clever play by Pip if she did mean to do it, so fair play to her.
The dark arts, as you front rowers like to describe them. So, Dale kicking out Whitley and offset Hartpury. This is Priestnell. Carries straight and true and manages to ensnare a few of the defensive units through the hands of Else, bouncing backwards. Mans picks out Singh in at fullback, dancing in, assessing her options, ball under one arm, and here goes Emma Singh. Spins through the contact, but making real inroads there. And Hartpury with the bit between their teeth through Dale.
Now let go, off feet. Use it.
Smith finds Mans, just as happy to carry and to truck it up as she is to kick it. Will work some magic. Else puts in a little pop pass, but the recipient was missing. A pass to nobody there. And it's almost turned over by the Archers.
Yeah, a lot of pressure there, a lot of maybe sloppy ball, a couple of drop balls there. Not the accuracy that the girls are going to want to be at, but with the weather being what it is, you can't really blame it. So it's more about what they do to fix it as opposed to the mistakes that might be made because of the weather.
At stake today is a seat at the top of that Women's National League table. As things stand, Edinburgh are at the top of the pile. Just that one defeat at the hands of a visiting Hartpury side a couple of weeks ago. But a win today is enough to leapfrog the Scottish team in the league. There's an awful lot to play for.
Another fantastic scrum from Hartpury there. The girls are really, really bringing it with the set piece.
What a platform for Scott, who frees her hands and finds Vanna, and it just dribbles from her fingers. A little knock on for the right winger, but what a bright idea. And Lucia Scott, only her first year playing for Hartpury, but she's certainly one to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, really, really safe hands on ball. She is such a fantastic ball carrier. She's got the step, she's got the pace, and she's very nifty as well. I don't know if you've noticed, very nifty.
Well, you watched her here coming in, two hands on the ball. I wondered if that was an overlap gone to waste, but she managed to free them, and just the deftness of that was very lovely to watch.
Yeah, just really unlucky with that knock on there, unfortunately. Really, really unlucky. But still, Hartpury in a good position here to see where things go.
They'll back their scrum. It served them very well so far this afternoon. Front row's currently unchanged. It will be Addie, Dale and Robson packing down opposite Collins, Licence and Carr.
I think that might be Carr going off currently. Took a bit of a knock there, I think. Did take a knee. So who do we have replacing her? Emily Kyle.
Thrasher coming on. Had a busy summer, Emily Kyle. She was involved at the Commonwealth Games as the team liaison for Sri Lanka.
Really?
What a responsibility.
That is a fantastic fun fact, isn't it? You know, 2 truths and a lie. No one's going to guess that one as the truth, are they? So
I think you've got to guess it as the truth because it's so niche. Who's going to be able to make that one up?
very, very specific, isn't it? But absolutely fantastic.
Well, on into the fray is Emily Joyce, another Thrasher for the Archers.
Not going on at tight head there, though. Going on at loose heads, and then loose head is switched over to tight heads.
It's all change in the front row then.
Honestly, I think front rowers just do what they want when they're on the pitch. I'm not going to lie to you. You know, your tight head replacement, yeah, just go on at loose head, it'll be all right.
Very useful versatility. Your new teammate Maud Muir coming to Gloucester Hartpury. She knows what it's like to play across the front row.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And fantastic on both sides, so fair play to her. If you can do it, you know.
Kat Richards getting wrapped up there as Met look to exit. It's back into the pocket. Up over the top, a fantastic kick under pressure and forcing the knock-on from Lucia Scott too.
Fantastic result for Cardiff Met there. High pressure, 10 metres out of the line. Amazing, amazing play from them to be able to get not only the distance on the pitch there, bringing Hartpury back, but it's also their ball now as well.
Brilliant outcome, and they've held the hosts, the favourites today, scoreless for the opening 10 minutes of this second half, and in fact held them scoreless for about half an hour now because it was a quiet second 20 for Hartpury in the first.
It was indeed, it was indeed. I don't know how this scrum's going to go. Cardiff Met seem to have turned a switch here. That was a fantastic bit of territory play there, and hopefully a big scrum from them with their new prop. Well, I take it back, unfortunately, for Cardiff Met. But great play from Hartpury there. Come away with a penalty. Really, really well played.
Welcome to the life of a commentator, Ellie Gilbert. As soon as you say something, the opposite thing happens. We call it commentator's curse. I'm afraid that's your first case of it.
My apologies to Cardiff Met. I definitely stitched you up there a little bit. My apologies.
So Hartpury with a fine attacking platform. They're inside the 22. Looking for a fourth score, which would of course be the bonus point, and with the league as tight as it is, every table point counts.
I think everybody will be glad to know that Amy Dale is currently holding a towel. They have got a towel over that far side for her, so hopefully this will help with the line-outs in the rain situation. However, I do think that the towel might be wet, so again, not that useful. Here we go.
Slight plaster on a gunshot wound vibes. Being given a towel.
Absolutely, well, a wet towel, definitely, yeah.
So Dale, options spread out, but not all that wide, so expect some punching up from the Hartpury backs, or for them to take the direct route. Off trundles them all, and they're 10 metres out all of a sudden. Hartpury pressing hard, applying pressure. Looking to find Met's defence porous for the first time this afternoon, and they're 5 metres out. 4, 3, 2, an unstoppable red wave here at Kingsholm.
That is fantastic play from Hartpury. Sam Monaghan, the Hartpury forwards coach, is going to be very, very happy with that. A big fan of mauling herself, so what a great score to get in just into the second half there. Really, really great line out, safe hands from Amy Dale, and just a fantastic maul.
Dale has her brace, she just can't stop scoring. And Hartpury Rugby just doing what Hartpury Rugby do. 24-7. Cardiff Met with a mountain to climb.
I think the Hartpury girls definitely would have had a conversation with the coaches about how physical Cardiff Met are. You know, they really are so strong in their forward pack. And I think that the Hartpury forwards have really stepped it up. Amy Dale with 2 scores. A fantastic drive and line-out effort from 10 metres out. Especially the resetting. I don't know if you noticed, as they were coming around the corner, reset, you know, no drop balls, no chance for Cardiff Met to get in there. So really, really fantastic play from Hartpury there.
And can Charlie Manns add the extras despite the swirling wind? Not quite. Flags stay down. That one drifts wide. But Hartpury with a big old lead now, half an hour left to play out there. And as we watch this again, I mean, it's the perfect weather for ball up the jumper.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really safe hands there. As it comes round, the girls, they do an amazing job of coming around the corner to reset and get in there.
Don't worry about me, okay?
And the rain has impossibly picked up yet again. You can hear it on the roof of our commentary position.
How rainy does it have to be before we can just call it a hurricane? That's my question.
I think we're already in that territory. Scott, ball in 2 hands, swims her way out of the Hartpury 22. I think we're at the point now, Ellie Gilbert, where we're not just referring to this as a hurricane. This is no longer a rugby match, this is a swimming gala.
Yeah, I think after Charlie Manns makes this kick, she might have to get her snorkel out of her pocket, to be honest, because it is absolutely hammering it down. And that was lightning.
I didn't see the lightning, but that gets interesting because I don't know what the regulations are for playing on when there's lightning taking place. Well, counterintuitively, if that was lightning, that makes no sense because you've just seen thunder from the Hartpury forwards with that rumbling, driving maul.
So good, so good.
Offset Cardiff Met though, it's the Archers in possession, back over the halfway line. Hartpury with the bonus point in the bag. As things stand, they will sit at the top of the Women's National League table. A welcome confidence boost before they host Exeter next week. That'll be a fascinating clash. And they have the turnover too.
Now that is really unfortunate for Cardiff Met. They've just lost the ball on their own carry because of a player going in from the side. It's those kind of pieces of ill discipline that are just really such a waste when you've got such good attacking ball like that. You know, Cardiff Met in the Hartpury half, really putting pressure on, big carries, and they've sort of thrown the ball away there with a bit of silly rugby.
Possession has proven really difficult to come by at points for Met. Sophie Licence just receiving a little bit of treatment there. What do you think they're saying in that Archers huddle?
I think it's probably going to be just to keep it safe, you know, not doing anything too silly, play to their structure, play to their shape. You know, they'll have specific shape that they want to play, whether it be, you know, forwards hands through 9 or any out the backs or things like that. And it is just, especially in this weather, they will be telling them to keep the ball safe, look after the ball, because it is just so wet and you can't risk losing it otherwise.
Dave and Sophie were chatting during the break about away days, the fun of heading up to Edinburgh. It's a happy hunting ground for Hartpury and it's where Cardiff Met will go next week. Tell us from your own perspective, what is it like going to Edinburgh? Just how fun is it to travel all that way with your teammates?
Honestly, we wanted to fly, but they made us drive on the coach. I think it took about 10 hours on the coach or something ridiculous. Connie Powell actually flew up the next day because she had a prior engagement. We went up the day before. She flew and the rest of us were stuck on this coach going up. And it's a bit of an adventure, I'll tell you that for free. It is an adventure on a coach for that long with your teammates. It's a bit of fun. It is just, yeah, crazy vibes really.
By hours 7 or 8, just how hard are you scraping the entertainment barrel? Go on, tell me, what are the depths you sink to?
So usually at that point it'll be me getting on the karaoke. So you know that it's bad when you've got me on the karaoke. Yes, absolutely. The first thing I do whenever I get on a coach for an away day is I ask the coach driver if they have a microphone, because got to have a bit of karaoke on the way back, you know.
What's your song of choice?
Kate Nash Foundations. Without a shadow of a doubt, Kate Nash Foundations, know it word from word, just a great tune. Anybody out there looking for a karaoke song, Kate Nash Foundations is the one.
You're not going to believe it, but that's mine.
Oh, amazing. Maybe we'll duet sometime, you never know. Maybe not on these mics, but somewhere else, I don't know.
Next time there's an injury break, we'll cue it up. Amy Dale
bit of pressure there, bit of pressure.
Back to the rugby, away from Kate Nash. Amy Dale picking out her mark, and Hartpury up onto the 22. Looking to lay some foundations of their own. A strike move awaits. Emma Singh is in behind this rock, behind this maul. They're marching forwards. Met doing everything they can, and it's worked because the call comes in to use it. It's Erin Bradley in now at scrum half. She fizzes it out. It's a tricky, scuttering, bouncing ball. Priestnell can't do anything about it. The knock-on comes, and Cardiff Met getting away with that one.
Yeah, really unlucky there. Not a great first touch of the game's come on at 9. You know, very high pressure position to play. Just hopefully picks her hands up the next time and Hartpury can get something out of it. I've also noticed that Liv has come on at 16 for Hartpury just there. She's also been playing with us at Gloucester Hartpury, and she has been having a fantastic little run of it at the moment. Really, really decent work rate off the ball. You know, puts a lot of effort in. So I'm excited to see what she does here.
Liv Constable, one of those involved on Saturday when Worcester were dismantled by Gloucester Hartpury in the Allianz Cup. Mo Hunt with 2 tries, Emma Singh on kicking duties. It really is a star-studded setup, and in fact, just how important do you think it is to the success of this university that it's allied with Gloucester Hartpury in the Premier 15s?
I think it goes both ways, you know, not just the with Gloucester Hartpury and the university. I think with the college as well. You know, things have changed a little bit from when I was at college. We used to have the ACE, where sort of 8 to 12 girls would be selected each year. They've got the Centre of Excellence now. You know, they've got, you know, anything between 30 and 40 girls that train in, week out, and it shows the depth that they've got there anywhere with the Centre of Excellence, and it also shows just the ambition of Hartpury. You know, they're pulling in 40 girls a year, they're putting everything they can into these girls for them to then come up to the uni, and then, as we've seen, you know, they play fantastically for Gloucester Hartpury as well.
Well, I can tell you that 12 of Hartpury's squad today graduated from Hartpury College, so it's a system that works.
Absolutely, absolutely.
13 of today's matchday squad involved in last year's final, 12 of them from the college. We are deep in rugby country here, and at the heart of that too, here at Kingsholm for a big old doubleheader. So don't forget, don't you go anywhere at the full-time whistle, because we'll be bringing you coverage of Hartpury men up against the Archers. Dan Murphy against Danny Milton. It's going to be good.
Crouch!
So, here we go, back at it. See how Hartpury scrums with Liv in the front row here.
Singleton with the put-in, holding firm the Archers' set piece. And off they set, nice little switch ball in the centre field. Sophie Richards presents it backwards. Just the noise of that Hartpury defensive line, so many vocal figures in there. Fantastic take of the greasiest of balls by Lucia Scott. She tiptoes her way down the touchline, places it back. An offset Hartpury. Kibble, wrapped up by 3 bodies in burgundy. But the support comes in, and it's slow ball for Bradley. But infield go the hosts. Mans, stutter step. Dances back the way that ball came. Hartpury have the bonus point in the bag, but they'll want another score. They're an ambitious side, and their tails are up.
That's not releasing. We go back over here. 6.
We'll come back for the penalty.
Really, really good ears from Charlie Mans there. Heard the ref say advantage. That, to her ears, is free ball. Let's go. Let's go get it. Great little carry. Nothing really coming out of it. Unfortunately, turnover. So come back for the penalty. It's a free play for nothing. You know, you got to give it a go, and Charlie Mans is very, very good at doing that.
It's a little thing, but her touch finding is exemplary. Every time she's gone for the corner, it's been 5, 6, 7 metres out.
Yeah, no, she absolutely aces it. Like I said previously, her accuracy is just fantastic. You know, I will always back her to make touch. I'll always back her to get us in a good position to play ball off.
Constable finds her mark.
A good first line out for Liv. She'll be very happy with that.
The defence splinters immediately for Archers, so here come Hartpury. They're already just 2 metres shy, and with no sign of slowing down, driving towards the line. Referee gets down to have a look at it. They're a metre shy here. A 5th score, right up on the cusp of it, but somehow Cardiff seem to have turned that one over. It's messy. It's hotly contested. Hartpury have the penalty. But Cardiff Met with clutch defence. That's a huge play.
Fantastic defence from Cardiff Met, but also just very slow to get to that breakdown for Hartpury. You know, you have to do A before C. You've got girls running around the corner ready for those big carries, but they haven't secured the breakdown. You know, you have to do A before C. You have to look after that ball. So fair play to Cardiff Met for taking the opportunity. Just a bit unlucky that we managed to turn the ball back over there.
17 points the difference, 20 minutes to play. Can Constable find her mark again? No, the greasy ball bounces loose. Archers under all sorts of pressure, but looking to exit here.
Leave red! Wait.
It's Sophie Richards with the carry. Back into the pocket it goes. Griffiths starts with the exit kick and the wind catches it. Oh, she's missed touch, but so slippery was the ball that there was nothing Lowry Davis could do about it, and it bounces back out.
Yeah, really unlucky for Lowry there. She is so pacey as a player. She's so good when she has ball in hands. Just really, really unlucky she didn't get an opportunity to show us what she can do there.
Changes.
Represented Wales under 20 and bagged a brace in last year's final. Such an asset. What a joy for Mo Hunt to have someone of that calibre in her replacements.
Time back on.
Constable, again, Groundhog Day, another throw down at that end of the field.
Let's go.
Sends it short.
Ball.
The ball bounces loose, but she's straight on it. Quick thinking and even quicker feet by the replacement hooker.
Backwards, 7 away.
Hartpury now 15 metres in, through the hands. Oh, it's a fantastic line from Whitley. Whitley making serious inroads there. The ball comes loose, and how Met have turned that over, I do not know.
Really, really great line there. Fantastic line, fantastic running. Look at her go, honestly, just head down, get going. Just a bit unlucky for Hartpury to lose the ball there, but again, great turnover. Cardiff Met really, really good defensively.
Well, Lola Whitley used to play as a winger. She's been shoehorned into a second row, and you could see the gas on her there.
I can promise you, she is so fast. You know, every single time I've watched her play rugby, she's made at least one sort of 40-yard dash towards the try line. She honestly has got legs for days. Fair play to the girl. I wouldn't be doing it if I was playing second row. So, you know, kudos to her.
Interesting change here. Mugabe, number 8 for the Archers, who was a try scorer in the first half, is now tasked with line-out duties and does well indeed. Archers is far from their own try line as they've been for about 10 minutes now. The pressure from the hosts has been ferocious. It's a kick in field, turf found, and Scott scurries after it. In the driving rain, freestyling her way down the pitch, frees her hands. The ball's so slippery, it seemed to have gone backwards. But sliding into touch was the backfield cover. Impossible playing conditions, Ellie.
Really, really impossible. The heavens have opened. It's not the best, but you gotta make do with what you've got. You know, fair play to the girls. Got to run it up hard. Really, really interesting development that the 8 is now throwing in for Cardiff Met. May potentially be quite detrimental to their set piece. In fact, you know, losing your hooker isn't really the best, but we'll see what she makes of this, see what she can bring to the table here.
Well, the first one was accurate. That came good for her, so that will have filled her with some confidence. A couple of changes being rung. Megan Moriarty is on for Hartpury. Steph Else is off.
Backwards off red. Backwards off red.
Well, it's come backwards off Hartpury. Mugabe's got away with that one.
Leave it now!
Playing a 1-2 for herself. And carries it up past the 10-metre line. Cardiff Met with a bit of possession for the first time in a while.
Play up.
Desperately need to utilise it, although the ball is stripped. It's the hosts who have the ball. The women in red on the offensive yet again. This is Russell. Such a juggernaut of a rugby player.
So tenacious in every single carry that she does.
She's got so much bounce to the ounce. She's not the tallest on the field, but makes her presence felt every time she gets hands on the ball. Here is Mans. Juggled by Davies, but somehow she clings onto it. Mans again, picks and goes, and Mans is on her bike. Terrific tackle from Sophie Richards to stop her in her tracks. But Hartpury will go again. Keble infield finds Constable. The drum is ringing out. The crowd are getting louder by the minute.
Penalty advantage, red.
Hartpury well back into the half now. They've got an advantage.
Stop. Time off. Stay down, take your time.
Not the best when you see an injury, is it? Not the best at all. Hopefully all okay.
Very animated looking EC Cantrell there, calling her team in, issuing some final instructions. They've 17 minutes to turn around a 17-point deficit, a point a minute. What would that take, Ellie?
To be honest, I think that they just really haven't had that many attacking opportunities. You know, I think if Cardiff Met were to get into Hartpury's 22, they were to get hands on ball, they were to be able to play those big forward carries like they usually do, I think they'd come away with a fair few points. It's just the problem is that Hartpury just aren't letting them have the ball. That is the only issue at the moment. So yeah, hopefully Cardiff Met can maybe bring something to the table here, get a bit more hand on ball, but otherwise it is Hartpury's game to lose.
Cardiff Met have very much said that their target for the season is a top 3 finish. They want to be in those knockouts by the end of the Women's National League. They've beaten Exeter already this year. They've beaten Loughborough already this year.
There with the ball.
How do you think they'll fare against Edinburgh next week? Because perhaps that's what will be the real indicator of their credentials.
Now, I think Edinburgh gave Hartpury their best game yet this season. I think that it was really quite a challenge for Hartpury to get those 2 points on them at the end there. So I think that it will be a challenge, but I really do back what Cardiff Met have produced today. I think their defensive play has been absolutely phenomenal, and if they were to be up in Edinburgh with a few more attacking opportunities, I think they could do it, you know.
How exciting. Perfectly poised, that one. It's a hotly contested league, just how we like it. If not quite as bananas as Buck Super Rugby has proven. Everybody has beaten everybody in the last few weeks, it feels. Not a single undefeated team, but two of the greats going up against one another in just half an hour's time.
Honestly, anything can happen in Bucks Rugby without a shadow of a doubt. You know, the amount of times we've been at Hartpury maybe watching the boys play and they've won the game with a kick in the last 30 seconds sort of thing, anything can happen.
It's the best league in the land.
Hartpury
on the attack.
Let it come, Gallo.
15 minutes left to play in this one. They've got a 17-point buffer, but they will go again. What a carry that is from Constable. She's made such an impact since coming onto the field. Ball over the top, there's an overlap here. It's through the hands of Scott, out onto the wing. It's Hendy.
That is it, there we go. Absolutely fantastic play from Hartpury, absolutely amazing. And all of it stemmed from that little tip by Lola Davies. Just that little tip, seeing a ball carrier in front of you, seeing the space open up, hips turn, give the little tip. Fantastic line by Liv Constable, and away it goes, and the backs do what they do best.
Backs with a big overlap there and tricky conditions in which to execute. But those fundamentals stood firm. Pip Hendy is over. That's the 5th score for Hartpury.
Absolutely fantastic, and maybe another 2 points to follow.
Well, the Women's National League Cup is in these parts of the world. It's been in the West Country since that fantastic barnstorming final at Six Ways last year. It's going to take some doing to wrestle it off, these women.
A little bit unlucky on the kick there, a little bit unlucky, but very, very challenging conditions and a really great effort from Charlie Mans.
So scores so far this afternoon: 2 from Scott, 2 from Dale, 1 from Hendy. Those are the 5 for Hartpury. Just one response from Cardiff Met through Mugabe towards the end of that first half. For the result might have got away from Met here, but definitely a chance with this restart to salvage some pride.
Yeah, just on that replay, just seeing Lowry Davies, just that perfect draw and give, you know, drawing in 2 defenders to give that little offload, 2 players on your outside, just guaranteed to be ball over line there.
It's a long restart, and Mans who gathers it, tucks the ball under one arm and sets off with a fend like a piston up the centre of the field. They are relentless and ruthless, this Hartpury unit. Mohan has drilled them well. They're coming, searching for another score. The ball's knocked on. Archers with the scrum advantage.
You know, I do think that ball came off of an Archers player there. I do think Cardiff Met just went to grab that and might have knocked it backwards. But Hartpury are never going to complain when there's a scrum in this weather. And hopefully another good push from the girls, because they've been phenomenal in their set piece so far. Maybe a little bit of confusion for Cardiff Met there, just getting everyone in the right position.
So we've got for Cardiff Met, Maddie Collins, then Denai Mugabe, then I believe it's Emily Kyle.
Bind!
All change in the front row.
Set!
Tell a lie, it's Emily Joyce packing in at tight heads. Either way, it matters not, because that scrum has been marmalised by Hartpury. We'll see the scrum again, but that set piece is going to be such a weapon for them this season.
Yes, absolutely. I think just need to be driving straight there, just need to leave off a little bit on that loose head side, let the tight head side come up, go straight, and as long as you're dominant, the ref is always going to give it to you. So the girls just need to make sure they're keeping it straight, keeping it going forward, and no more twist in the scrum.
Mans waits behind the scrum for this one. Scott still on the field on her brace, waiting back in the pocket. Options on either side for Hartpury if they can turn this over, but Met somehow extricate it. They've done well there. And here is Tal Barnes.
19 away, 21 away.
The Welsh under-20, a real one to watch according to Lisa Newson. She's on the field now. And that's her first touch of the ball for the afternoon. Mugabe, she's done it all today. A try, played at number 8, throwing the line out. Hartpury though forcing the knock on. Met were under all sorts of pressure right from the push in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Pressure on in the scrum. You know, the set piece is such a key aspect of the game to play off. It gives the backs either go forward, let's go quick ball, or it's slow, sloppy ball. And unfortunately, Met are just getting sloppy ball off of this.
Apologies for any competitive language you might have just picked up on the ref's microphone.
Bind!
They've done pretty well to keep it clean in these conditions so far, I've got to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Quick in and out of the ball there for Hartpury. Let's go, let's get playing, let's get up the field.
The hands!
Fine execution. The ball was out as quick as you like. So 11 minutes left to play. Hartpury leading 29-7 in this rearranged round 2 fixture. They will sit top of the Women's National League. They're here again next week, hosting Exeter. It's a trip up to Edinburgh for Cardiff Met, so it doesn't get any easier for them. But there's been plenty that you've liked about this performance, Ellie.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, I think, if anything, Cardiff Met can take a lot away from this game, especially in preparation for their game against Edinburgh. You know, it's a challenging game for them, especially in these conditions. So hopefully, with the conditions being a bit better, they'll have a few more attacking opportunities and they'll be able to go get Edinburgh. Because I really think defensively they're squared away. A few more attacking opportunities, a little bit more decisiveness in the go forward, and I think they'll be away.
We're seeing the women in Archers jerseys right now, but what is it like pulling on that famous red Hartpury University jersey? Does it come with an awful lot of pressure as well as pride?
So my first ever game that I played for Hartpury was actually in college. We'd literally been there maybe 2 or 3 weeks of training, and all of the second year girls literally turned around and said, "We don't lose, so make sure you got your head on straight." University's a little bit different. Well, this was back in the Ace days anyway, but now university's a little bit different. It is a case of just do your job and do your job right. And the pressure is as much pressure as you want to put on yourself. Honestly, you know, these girls are a fantastic group. Mo and Sam are fantastic coaches, and it is just all about what you can do when you've got that jersey on.
We don't lose. Welcome to Hartpury.
Not fair.
Well, yeah, well, no comment. I've not been involved for a little bit, so things might have changed a bit now, but it is definitely a case of do what you can do it to the best of your ability, put 100% out on the field, and let's get something out of it.
I think it's only natural. Sportswomen at this level are so competitive. Why not have "We don't lose" as your slogan?
Set! Stay!
The scrum firm again for Hartpury. The heavens have opened. We didn't think heavier rain was possible, but we're having it now. Offsets Larry Davis.
Stay here.
And it really is a swimming gala out there at this stage, but Hartpury are winning the race, and they're looking for a 6th score.
Backwards.
Just bounces through the hands of Priestnell, but it does go backwards.
Through the middle, fine.
The women in red go again. Priestnell. Options to her right. Here is Rosie Down. Her first carry of the afternoon, and it's a meaty one. She makes inroads.
All available, play.
Back the same way, through the hands of Constable. Over the top, here is Scott. Hendy's playing on the wing now. She's on her right, offering support, getting involved there, driving her fellow back forwards. And all of a sudden, they're up onto the 22, sniffing that 6th try.
Tackle!
Which would really be the cherry on the cake of a robust performance. Mans assesses her options, pops it over the top. Here is Russell into the 22. But Hartpury's defence, Cardiff Met's defence rather, it's been this story all afternoon, coming up with the goods. It's turned over.
Hartpury really are producing some beautiful rugby at the moment, but it is just Cardiff Met's defence is just absolutely fantastic. They're not letting anything in right now.
Well, the ball is just about kept in play. A miraculous bit of skill there, but Hartpury now under plenty of pressure, looking to exit themselves. How quickly a game of rugby can change. And this is Hopkins in that black scrum cap. Down the blind side they go. What a take from Russell, and all the footwork to go with it.
They go.
She's known for her hard hits and her aggressive style of play, but that was so delicate, that footwork, to get through the tackle there. She's slow to her feet. That looks like an awkward twist of her knee as she landed, but she's back up. And Met go quickly. They know they need to strike if they're to narrow the deficit here, to come away with anything from this match. Slow ball for Reardon off the back of that one. She picks and goes herself. What a tenacious carry from the blind side. 10 metres out.
Use it.
She's done absolutely everything today. Mugabe now playing with a 9 on her back. She's played at hooker. She's played at number 8. She's got herself a try. She's thrown lineouts. Jack of all trades.
Still advantage. 19, not 10.
A master of them all. Here goes Reardon again. Such a plucky player. 5 metres out now, Cardiff Met sniffing that second score. These women are not going down without a fight. And they will have their second. The result might be beyond their reach, but what heart Cardiff Met have shown today. What spirit. They have their second.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic from Reardon there, you know, showing why she is where she is, sort of leading from the front. 2 back-to-back carries there, and really, really decent carries at that. Really, really great front foot play from her, and it just gave Cardiff Met that edge. I told you, as soon as they get into Hartpury's 22, they are absolutely tenacious.
That's it, thank you.
It was Emily Joyce with that pick and go to drive over beneath the posts. Another one of those newly recruited Archers freshers really making waves in the Women's National League.
Yeah, Cardiff Met have had some fantastic recruitment, and they are going to be absolutely storming it this year and next year as well, keeping all these girls in. You know, they've got so many freshers that have shown up today and have absolutely beasted it. So fair play to Cardiff Met, fighting to the last minute. You know, only 10 minutes or so left and they're making carries like that.
And their captain leading from the front, wearing 7, but used to play at centre, so it seems that EC Cantrell knows how to kick as well. She absolutely drilled that conversion, makes it a 7-pointer. So 29-14, 11 minutes left to play. And by today's standards, which isn't saying much, the rain has eased off a little.
I think I would have liked to see the Cardiff Met 8 make that conversion, to be honest. She's played everywhere else on the pitch at this point.
She'd have rugby bingo at that stage, I think. How about that from Emily Joyce? 7 points added to the Archers' tally.
Wasn't touched.
And 2 for the skipper.
Hartpury just requesting numbers there. Everyone knows when you're about to have a line out, the most annoying thing you can do is scream numbers as many times as you can. So.
She is your favourite player, Mugabe.
I think she's just doing a fantastic job. She is honestly, the carries off the back of the scrum, throwing in at the line out, scoring a try. Really, really great game for her today.
She's living by her headband. She is just doing it.
Step back over. 18, step over. There's he not. We're going to have to go again.
Sends it short, but a little bit earlier than the referee would have liked. Hartpury not on their mark at that stage, so we'll have that line out again. And Ellie, just to get your thoughts ticking over, I will be asking you in about 5 or 6 minutes for your player of the match. So start having a ponder whilst we watch Mugabe with her throw-in.
I will have a think.
It's short, but it's with the
Stay out,
Archers.
19. Thanks.
They must be wondering how they found themselves back again in their 22, and it's a fantastic charge down by Rosie Down. She's not been on the pitch long, but she's made her presence felt. It was knocked on though, and Archers will have the opportunity to clear their lines once again.
I do think that ball has just hit. I think it might have been, it's Jazz, Tenor Henworth. She has just been clocked in the face with that.
Can I have you off the mark? Thank you, it's there. Crouch! Bind! Up we come. Both sides, more space on bind.
Yeah, a little bit naughty from both sides there, getting to the tail end of this game, trying to sort of get everything you can out of everything, being a bit cheeky, I think. So hopefully the scrum resets and we get a good outcome.
In 8, number 8 in. Crouch!
At either end of the pitch, the two men's sides are warming up for what should be a blockbuster Super Rugby fixture. We'll be bringing you live coverage of that one, so don't you go anywhere after this one wraps up. Archers with the free hits, using it well.
6 away. Wait.
Sophie Richards, who's carried so hard and direct all afternoon, with another one just there, up over the top, courtesy of Griffiths.
9 offside.
Does have that advantage though, so we'll come back for it.
Yeah, back for that penalty. A little bit naughty from the 9 there. The ref did say leave it twice, just a little bit too hungry for it, I think, so she's given that one away.
4 minutes left to play, 15 points the difference. Griffiths sends it into the stands just beneath our commentary position. One final throw of the dice. Mugabe must be absolutely out on her feet. She's been everywhere.
Oh, fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Little interception. Hartpury, let's go forward.
And they're looking for a 6. Straight back onto that 22 where they've been camped pretty much all second half. And who else would it be carrying them over that line than Amy Dale?
No hands now, yellow.
Head down, knees driving, arms pumping through the hands of the backs. Priestnell over the top, juggled by Scott. Dances infield, pinwheels. Look at that footwork. Hartpury 10 metres out now. Looking for another to break the 30-point barrier, to really put an exclamation point on this performance. The ball's knocked on though. Archers will have the put in at the scrum.
A little bit unlucky from Hartpury there, just a little knock on, bit unfortunate, but I feel like Hartpury have just suddenly got this third wind. Like, what a fantastic little couple of phases of play there. Go forward, hard, heavy carries, draw in the Cardiff Met defence, and then get it out wide so your players like Lucia Scott can do what they do best.
The lesser-known third wind. You're about second one all the time, but we're seeing a third one.
That is a third wind. I'm telling you now. I'm calling it. That is a third wind.
Yeah, no problem.
How good is this Hartpury team this year, Ali? Do you think they'll defend that title and potentially do a historic League Cup double?
I think that they will. I really, really do think they'll do it. It would be fantastic to have that at Hartpury, to be able to have that on our belts. You know, the Gloucester Hartpury girls as a squad are so proud of these Bucks girls. We're so happy to have them involved in our training sessions, you know, playing cup games with us, sometimes even playing Prem games with us. And we're so proud of them and everything that they've achieved. It would just be fantastic for them to get the double.
Very, very exciting time to be in this part of the world, because Gloucester men, they're looking fantastic. What a result they got here against Exeter on Friday. Gloucester Hartpury women, the circus, as you call yourselves, with some really eye-catching recruits over the summer, and then both university sides flying.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one of those recruits being Sarah Beckett, she's going to be absolutely phenomenal for us this year. She's been playing a couple of the cup games with us. She has just been an absolute joy to have on the team already. You know, she's not been here long, but she is a character, I can tell you that. She is fitting like a glove. So we're really looking forward to having our girls come back from the World Cup, get back involved. and I think it's just going to be a really, really fantastic place for rugby. Hartpury is going to be the place to be.
Yeah, you heard it here first. So, World Cup then. Semi-finals on Saturday. New Zealand, France, England, Canada. Who will be in the final?
They can replace, but there's now no
well,
contest.
England, obviously. I'm back in England.
And are you backing England because you're English or because you think they've got the performance in them?
A bit of both. A bit of both. Yeah, I think that England have put in some good performances so far, but they have not unlocked their full potential at all. I think they've got a lot more to bring to the table, and I think a team like Canada is the team for them to do it against. New Zealand, France is a different one because they play such different rugby. You know, France are very, very powerful, but New Zealand are just so nifty, aren't they? So that could be anyone's game.
Bind.
New Zealand quite capable of producing the sort of weather that we have seen this evening. We saw it with the Red Roses against Australia in their quarterfinals. So
use it.
Very fascinating to see how the elements affect those two games of rugby. Griffith cleared that under a lot of pressure, did really well. Here is Hendy out on her wing. Wonderful footwork, and what a fend to go with it. A 1-2 from the outside centre, now playing out on the wing.
Right there.
Big hits coming from the Archers, as they have done all afternoon. 2 minutes left on this one. Hartpury would love a sixth. Just knocks on there at the feet of Mans, who's been a maestro all afternoon, really pulling the strings despite horrible conditions for a playmaker.
Yeah, I think that she has led from the front, definitely. I think that she's made some fantastic decisions in this game, you know, deciding when to kick and clear that pressure, when to maybe take it for herself, definitely listening to the ref and taking advantage of what the ref's calling. So she really, really has had a fantastic game.
60 seconds left to play. Hartpury with 1 foot at the very top of the Women's National League ladder. They will love being back at the top of that table, and a place that they plan to occupy for the rest of the season if Ellie Gilbert is to be believed. Griffiths drops it to her laces. It's going to bounce into touch, just evading the clutches of Scots. We'll have one final play of the day.
Yeah, I thought Lucia Scott was going to get to that quickly, maybe try and play it quick there, but with a minute left to play and the score being what it is, I think Hartpury can just take their time and just play whatever they fancy playing, to be honest.
A fair few of those involved in that Allianz Cup fixture still out on the field, but with no Allianz Cup action for a couple of weeks now, I suppose it's a good chance for the girls to have a hiss out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Mo is going to be really happy with this performance. It has been a great run out for these girls to prep them for their upcoming games for Bucks as well.
The ball is safely down. It's with Ellie Gilbert, but the throw and not straight.
What would you like?
Ellie Gilbert, your player of the match.
I am going to have to go with Lucia Scott. I think that she has had an absolutely fantastic game. I think that hands on ball has been safe. I think that her decision making out in the back field, you know, getting under the ball, her attacking plays, running with the ball, all of it has just been absolutely fantastic. And a couple of tries to match doesn't really go amiss, does it? So fair play to her.
Points mean prizes, and so that has proven tonight. Who else was in the running for you? Who are your contenders?
Always Charlie Mans. She's just such a rugby head on her shoulders. She has had some fantastic decision-making opportunities here, and she's really taken advantage of it. And her accuracy, again, like you said, being able to make touch the way that she has, just been absolutely phenomenal. And then Jordan Russell's had a really, really good game as well. Great ball carrying, great tackling as well. Pace off the back of that scrum to make hits.
One final go then for the Archers. The clock's in the red, but the ball is in the hands of the women in those famous Cardiff Met colours. Reardon has been immense for her side today. Mans with the least impressive kick of her afternoon.
I don't know, that one's done it for me. I think that was fantastic. Fair play to you, Charlie Mans. Fair play to you.
Well, the women in red have done it to the delight of those with the drum beneath us. Hartpury rise to the summit of the Women's National League table, and they have done it with style. I'll tell you what, let's rename this place Kingsholm, at least until the men are out on the pitch.
You know what, I would not be opposed to that. Fair play. Kingsholm it is.
Hartpury 29, Cardiff Met 14. 5 tries for Mo Hunt's side, who are looking every inch the cup holders that they currently are. They're sitting in first place. They'll host Exeter next week. What a result. Let's have a look at some of the tries from that one. Well, Steph Els, she was everywhere this afternoon. Thunderous carries, big hits, and key at the line out too.
Yeah, absolutely. She really is suiting that 8 shirt at the moment. She has got fantastic, just this ability to find the space off the back of a scrum. She always makes good ground. She's a good ball carrier, but her open play decision making is also good. You know, she's wide sometimes, etc., etc. So I do think that she's having a fantastic run of it at the moment.
Well, from one fresher to another, here was some lovely interplay between Lucia Scott, Emma Singh, and straight back to Scott, player of the match.
Just fantastic vision from Lucia there to decide to stay on the outside instead of the inside. She's recognised that Jordan Russell's on the inside in support. She can see the Cardiff Met players tracking across to her, and she's decided to make that decision, stay on the outside, call the offload, and over the line.
I heard Chris Ashton say once when someone asked him how he scores so many tries, it's pass and follow. And there was a prime example there. That support line from Scott showed real IQ, real rugby smarts.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic decision making, and she came away with the points to prove it. So,
Archers, though, impressive, resilient, tenacious. And this here showing that they might have been the smaller side physically, but they really pack a punch.
that was a really well-deserved try for Cardiff Met. I think it's unfortunate that they didn't have more attacking opportunities, because when they do get, you know, clean, safe ball, they are a side to be reckoned with, to be honest. They really do have strong carries. Maybe like to see a little bit more about what their backs can do, but we know in the forwards that they are going to carry hard at the line, and they're going to get over the line as well eventually.
Well, it worked, but to no avail, because Hartpury put themselves away and pretty much clear with this. Amy Dale's seconds of the afternoon. She loves crossing the whitewash.
She does. She really does just love carrying. I've never met somebody who just loves mauls, but Amy Dale loves a maul. You know, she'll get in there. And she, you know, fantastic play from her as well, especially when that maul is twisting around and she's made that sort of positioning to switch over, make sure that their players can reset behind her, so there isn't an opportunity for Cardiff Met to get in the side there. So fair play to her.
It was the sort of weather that you think Pip Pendy might have debated saying she tweaks a calf ahead of so she wouldn't have to play in, but when she dotted this one down, I imagine she was pleased she turned up today.
Honestly, I am just so glad that she managed to stay on her feet, because that girl trips over her own feet more times than I can count in training. But she has done an absolutely fantastic job there. Just, you know, the palm off, the step, breaking through that tackle, dive it over the line. It's just a very pretty try to watch, isn't it?
It's got me really excited to see this Hartpury team play when the weather is good, because that was so slick. And again, the interplay between Singh and Lucia for that earlier try, Lucia Scott, it just, you think on a dry track, on a quick track, they're going to sparkle.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Hartpury's forwards, they aim to set a really good ground to play off. You know, they want their scrums to be really decent, they want their lineups to be good playable ball. But the backs can just do a little bit of magic, you know, and with that good weather, it just allows the backs to have a little bit more time on the ball, a little bit more of an opportunity to create that magic. So fair play to Hartpury, massive win and very well deserved.
A massive win, and one that sees them top of the Women's National League. They truly are the women to beat. That much is apparent. Ellie Gilbert, it's been an absolute pleasure calling this one with you. All the very best with your season with Gloucester Hartpury. Come back soon, won't you?
I will try my best. Yes, thank you ever so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, guys.
And those of you watching on at home, don't go anywhere, because we'll be back with another stream in just a moment, bringing you Hartpury men up against the Archers. It promises to be an absolute barnstormer in the company of Dave Rogers and our special guest, Mark Atkinson. So, see you shortly. But for now, Hartpury 29, Cardiff Met 14.